This time of the year, women excellence in sport is acknowledged through an annual awards ceremony, and this is of course the GSport Awards. Now these awards look at mainstream and often neglected areas of sport which don't get the limelight, and today we look at two individuals who are part of an important part of the sports in South Africa in different areas. We are joined by Kyra van Kan as well as Precious Hlaka. Good morning ladies, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kyra, let me start with you because you've had such an amazing year. I mean, 2023 Golf RSA Open ranking you #1 as well as in terms of your junior rankings. I mean, it's been such an amazing year for you.
Yes, it's been quite a year for me. I started off the year by winning the SA Amateur, and that was honestly a dream come true for me, one of my ultimate goals. And I did a lot of traveling as well, playing as a South African pro tier for South Africa. And yeah, I got to travel to 3 different countries, Uganda, Jakarta, and Japan, representing South Africa. And it was honestly the greatest experiences.
I'm going to come back to you because I want to know how a young Kyra gets into golf. But Precious, let's talk to you now. You're nominated in the Volunteer of the Year category. Speak to us about why you decided to get involved in just doing this community outreach and athletic work in your community, in particular in Diepsloot.
Well, basically it's more of a personal experience, I could say. The project came about things that I went through individually within sports. I grew up playing football, then I jumped into athletics, and I got internships, coaching internship with an organization. That's where I got to experience quite a lot of challenges that young girls were having within, you know, the sports in general, different sporting code, and that's where I had, you know, the vision to start something within the community, because I come from a very disadvantaged community. I mean, Diepsloot is not known for the good things, but it's known for a lot of bad things. So I thought, you know what, let me start something, and the love just kept getting bigger and bigger. The more I see my girls achieving, the more I see one of my girls in the billboards or one of them in the USA, that actually, you know, for me it's something that I want. The only thing I want is to see more young girls going through what I went through, but mainly going beyond as well. So yeah.
And being progressive.
Exactly. The achievement is what I'm focused on.
Oh, that is so lovely, Precious. Kyra, let me come back to you. So let's talk about you and golf. Your ranking is absolutely amazing. I don't even have a handicap. I mean, I'm terrible at golf. But let's talk about how you get into golf. How does this all come about for you?
Well, I started golf when I was 9 years old. My dad took me to the range, and I just fell in love with it as soon as I made contact with that little white ball. And yeah, then I just started playing at an interprovincial level for my union, and just worked harder and pushed myself to the limit that I was able to get the privilege of playing for South Africa. And that was a big thanks to Golf RSA for giving me that opportunity.
And what does it mean for you to be able to represent your country at such a young age?
It's honestly, I couldn't be prouder. Every time I go and I wear that pro tier badge on my chest, it just makes me so happy, and yeah, it's a huge privilege and I'm honored.
Precious, let me come back to you. Kyra speaks about just the honor and privilege of being able to play for a country. With the work that you do, obviously you want to empower young women in sport in South Africa, but speak to us about some of the challenges that you face, because financially it can't be easy to do what you do.
Yeah, honestly speaking, it's a roller coaster. Like, deciding to do something out of your own pocket, it's a roller coaster. I mean, I've had a lot of doors that were shut in my face. I've had a lot of people that never believed that it was going to be solid. To get to where I've had within the community, the forum on its own didn't want to support the project. You know, I was neglected to give in a space, but I still had to push through because the vision was bigger than that. Because I know what I went through, and I know what sports did for me individually. I've overcome a lot of, you know, the bullying, the sexual harassment, and all of that within sports as an athlete. So I thought, you know, I managed to overcome. Some of the young kids, they cannot overcome what I came through. I mean, I've already experienced 2 young girls that went through suicidal, and I'm trying to break that stigma as well within the community, that, you know what, our kids are going through the most. And to us as coaches, there's more that can be done, and that it's a big challenge to have to convince people. But then I had to make sure that the project becomes active so that people actually see that, oh, so this is actually what it means, this is what they do. That's when people actually started to recognize and say, then we can support. But to have it moving, it was a mission, and it's still a mission even now, because financially most of the young girls, I support them. When they go to the cross-country leagues with the CGA, I have to provide something for transport and also for them to get something to eat as well. And then to have, I remember there's one that was selected as one of the, for Adidas shooting, you know. She didn't have money for transport, she didn't have money for most of the things. As she grew older, I mean, she couldn't even do well at school because financially she was not doing well. Her parents were sick to a point that she was even collapsing at school. So I had to make my way and pay for her school fees and pay for whatever challenges that she has, her basic necessities. I had to provide for that, and without having to, you know, ask anybody, because I know that at the end of the day, her achievement for me, it's a success for me as well. So yeah.
Absolutely selfless work that you do there. Kyra, let's speak to Emerging Athlete of the Year. Obviously, it's a recognition that you're getting, but it's also up against other young athletes who've been working really hard and who have done really well. What does this nomination mean for you?
To be nominated in the GSport Awards is honestly a huge achievement for me, because this involves all the women athletes in the whole of South Africa. So it really is a huge achievement, and it's quite a big competition. I mean, these are the top 3 finalists in the category, so we're all pretty good at our individual sport. So yeah, to even be recognized for all my hard work and dedication throughout this year really means the world to me.
And for you, just Precious, I know you do the work you do because it fulfills you, and you say that the success of the athletes that you've helped throughout their careers becomes your success. But just to get that recognition that people are seeing what you're doing and the difference that you're making in the community of Diepsloot.
It was overwhelming, first and foremost, and it actually, I hope and I'm praying that people actually come through and help. I mean, women and sports, there's a big of challenges that we go through. And then looking at even going forward internationally, they still struggle, you know, when having to, like now we just had the world champs. You know, we didn't have lots of women participating there on the track and field besides Prudence, Hodiso, and so on. So I'm hoping that after this, they'll come back to the ground root, they'll come back to the grassroots, they'll come back to the townships and actually help these young girls. I know it's not only Diepsloot, there's a lot more. There's a lot more in more communities. The fact that there's the panelists of the people that I'm with, they're also doing whatever they can to support these young girls. And it's not easy. But then with this platform, I cried, literally, I cried when I got the call. Because it means so much. It hits the heart for me. This project for me hits the heart, and it's something that I know that it can be done. We just need to work together as women, because I believe that the future is female.
Thank you so much, Precious Hlaka, as well as Kyra van Kan, nominated in the GSport Awards. And just speaking to 2023 being the year of the woman, we've seen women do so well in terms of the cricket, the netball. We've got, of course, the football ladies that made it out into the round of 16 at the FIFA Women's World Cup. And of course, Kyra and Precious, you can go to gsport.co.za if you'd like to vote for them.